What's up, YouTube? This is Cdog back with another War in Pocket review. This is DX9's War in Pocket Sonic Wizard, or better yet known as Soundwave. Checking out him in the packaging. Got more of that cool G1 box art style. So looking cool, minus the Decepticon sticker, of course, or symbol. On the top, you have the same art up there, 33. On the side, we have a picture of him posed out with him in his alt mode and robot mode, Sonic Wizard Communications. And then on the back, you have kind of a 4-step transformation, or I guess that's 5-step. Just kind of like they used to do a 4-step transformation for the G1 box art. And then we have some cool pictures of, poses. It shows him, Megatron, holding Soundwave. That looks pretty cool. And then you got him defeating Ironhide, and then you got all of his minions on there, as well as his tapes in tape mode. And he can have his tapes in his tape mode. So then you got standard grade down there. So without further ado, let's get right into the review. So real quickly, I want to show you how cool the instructions are. Really nicely, easy to see. Got some color in there. So very cool. And this is what he looks like in his pack. All in the double clamshell. And here he is out of the packaging, and he is freaking awesome. Though there are some flaws, and they're all in the minions, thank God. But still a pain in the ass. Do you know that I've had a problem with every single DX9 figure I've opened up? The first one was Ratchet, and his molding was all off, so he couldn't transform right. They gave me like a $10 discount, and they didn't have any more. This one, Rat Trap, is messed up. As you can see, he's kind of bent. See, he's kind of bent, so his wing doesn't fold out correctly, which would be fine, except for he doesn't fit in tape mode. And then Ravage is put together wrong, and we'll go over that. So looking at Soundwave, I'm just going to call him Soundwave for the review. He looks great. Got articulation, nicely done. Got a ball joint shoulder with a cut joint, ball joint elbow. Can swivel on that elbow. He's also got a ball jointed wrist. That is hard to swivel, but I'm sure, you take enough. It does swivel back and forth, although you want to be careful not to break it. And he's got a ball joint for his head, and he can also look up. So that's cool. They got him ability to look way up. So very cool. A little down, and then of course you can get it side to side. And then he's got a waist swivel, which is nice. He's got this flap that will flip up, so you can get him to go straight up. And he will also go out, straight out. And he's got a butt plate in the way, so you can't really get it to go back. He has an upper thigh swivel. That will go all the way around if you needed to. And he does have a double jointed knee. So this is supposed to be locked up like that, but you can use it for a double joint. Boom, just like that. Then he has a single joint if you don't use that double. He has ankle tilt on that ball joint there. It will swivel and it will go up and down. So good articulation on Soundwave. Checking out the back of him. You can see some of the alt mode there, and some details here painted on. Get some screws on there. You got some gunmetal paint painted on. He's got a red band painted around. Got the yellow paint here, as well as these two little lines, and that was one of the symbols on the tape players. This line across with the arrow, he's got painted face, silver with the red eyes. And then the bottom of his legs are painted as well. So pretty cool. You can get him to do some posing if you need to. He's definitely good for that. And he comes with some accessories as well. So he poses no problem. He comes with some accessories. I guess we can just leave him like that. Comes with this one. And this actually removes. So you get that. And if you want, you could also put it in here, I believe. Yeah. So you get this, you get these batteries slash weapons. I remember in the 80s, no one knew that they were batteries. Only in Japan they knew that. Not no one, but it wasn't in the instructions. And as you can see, there's a little stress mark from putting it on. Just a little bit, but it's not a big deal. It's not going to break or anything. It's just new plastic. But you can put it on like that. And then he also can, of course, hold his weapon. Actually, hold on. And you just pop it in there like this. And there you go. You got them all weaponed up. So very nice. He looks very much the part. Looking at Ratbat, I'll show you what was wrong with him. So he's supposed to come out on both sides, on both sides, and he does a little bit, but that's as much as you can get. And you can see it how it's like banged in. You can see it looks hammered in, and it's warped. So you can't get it to go out, and I don't want to break it. For, you know, I want to be able to get a replacement or some kind of discount. I mean, I can always go like this for Ratbat. Whoops, flip it around like this for Ratbat. So I can always do that for Ratbat, but I can't put him in there. He doesn't fit in there. He would probably fit as himself, but not with the two tapes. So that's Ratbat. And then we got Laserbeak. He's actually working fine, thank God, because he's my favorite to be with Soundwave. He's like the main one at Soundwave. Well, him and Ravage. So we have, and then what they're supposed to be able to do is go all the way out like this. And they just can't on Ratbat. Well, one can, just not both. You've got silver painted beak there, silver on his wings, as well as the guns kind of painted in silver. And you just flip this in and twist it like that on that double hinge. And there you go. And then we have Ravage. So you can actually put these in there. So it's got either space for Ravage. He's a thicker cassette. Or you can do regular size cassettes. And the way I was doing it, figured out, was the head goes up. At least that's the way I was getting it before. And then you can just put them in there like that. And I'll show you what I mean, head going up. See, it just won't fit in there now because it fits, but you can't. You see how one side just pops out, the other side goes in. So you can get it to I mean, you could probably mimic some posing from certain angles, but. And I'm not sure if it will go in by itself that well or anything, or what. Let's find out. Let's see if it'll go in there. I don't want to get it stuck either. I mean, I guess it will, but I hope it doesn't. You can always, another thing you can do is if you do find them getting stuck, you can lift up his head and then go in through that way. And grab like a weapon or something and poke it out, just like that. So. And then Ravage will also fit in there. Let's pop his. And you just want to get a fingernail kind of under. Although I find kind of pressing on it and then putting a fingernail works better. And then opening it up a little bit extra for Ravage. And I'm not even sure if he's put together right from a tape point of view or if it's just that foot. I'll show you what I mean after in a minute when I transform Ravage. Yeah, I might need to open it. See, Ravage is not impossible, but you really need the room. Like that. Oh, see, and he fits. He fits no problem. So, I don't know what the deal is with why DX9 keeps giving me. And as if you watch my last review on Starscream, the King Starscream version was not, it was broken as well. I mean, it was a damaged package, so that's part of it. But, alright, so we'll show you Ravage before I show you how to transform him. So Ravage, you kind of just open up. First, you want to get out his feet, like this. And then you start to fold this down. That'll give you the ability to get in here and get the feet. And you can put the head forward like that. Like this. And then you want to use those ball joints right there and pull them back. And what you do is you flip it all the way around 180. Like that. And then, see, got his head on right. And then you flip around his other feet around 180. And as you can see, his feet are on wrong. And that's the way he was. I mean, you can't do it any better because ball joints go out like this. So if you could flip it around 180, but that's as far as it'll go. So no, it's like that. That's pretty much, you can do that. It does have some articulation. And I imagine he has articulation. It goes backwards like this, but the feet are probably flipped around the other way or something. I'm not sure what the reality. I know that I looked in the picture, and his feet are supposed to be flipped around the other way. So obviously it was put together wrong. And you get some ball jointing out here, as well as this will move as well if you need it to. And then he has a tail underneath here that I'll get to now. Let's just get a little fingernail under there. Like that. Oh. I mean, he still will stand and everything. It's not like he's totally useless, but I mean, having feet on wrong looks like a weird, doesn't invoke Ravage to me. Just looks wrong. But that's it nonetheless. And the pins are so small. I just, see how small those are. I mean, I don't think I can pop those out myself. And look at that side. It's even smaller. Way smaller. So yeah. So that's Ravage. Alright, so to transform Soundwave, first off you want to start by the head. You flip this piece back and you flip this in. Oh, excuse my phone. Jesus. Anyways, hopefully it doesn't keep going off. Alright, so we flipped. Alright, so if you flip that down like this and then you flip it in. Sorry, I got distracted. We want to remove his weapons. Like that. Then you want to take this part out. And you want to plug this part upside down on this side. There's a little hole on top. And there's pegs right there and there. So you peg one side in. And then you get the other one. And this one doesn't have the peg on top. But you peg the other one in. So you have it like that. Okay? Alright. Next up, you want to do the feet. So one thing that the instructions don't tell you, it tells you just to flip these back. But you need to revert them around 180 to flip them back. Because it needs to have that, it needs to be able to rock up and fill in that spot. Just like that. See, putting it back, that's what you get for this side. So you want to flip it around 180 and then pull it back. Just like that. Alright. Alright. Next up, you want to rock these back on these nice tight hinges, just like that, and just like that. Then you use this kind of cut joint, and you pop the hand into those tabs of the now batteries, I guess, or jetpack, or whatever you want to call it. At one time, it was a battery. And then the same on this side. And this side's a little bit harder, but they still work. So there you go, like that. You might want to do some adjusting if you feel like it. Okay, next we want to go around here, do a 180 at the waist to bring these to the front. You're welcome to flip this up too if you want, just so you don't see like buttons in the back. Okay. All right, next you want to bring this down and then out so it's straight, like that. Down and out so it's straight. Then you bring this up to the side before you spin the thigh swivel, just like that. You rotate the thigh swivel 90 degrees, so you got it like that. And then you bring this in, and then you use those hinges, And there's a slot right there and a tab right there. And you just kind of rock it together. And I would hold it down here when you do it because it supports it. Tab that in. Same thing on this side. Tab that in, just like that. And if you're not using the tapes and you want to store this guy, you can always put it in here. I mean, nothing's gonna hurt you, or nothing's saying you can't. See what I'm saying? But if you want, you can always put these guys in too. So, boom. So that's him in tape mode. So really cool figure. I'm totally digging him. We're going to get some measurements here in a minute and check him out with the rest of the crew. So that's what he looks like from the back and from the side. I thought maybe something. Oh, it just unpugged from the peg there. Not a big deal. It's probably because I have this thing folded up. It's in the way. But anyways, yeah. So there, it's pegged back in. So that's what he looks like. Got a couple holes here on the side, but looks really good. And then you just this button does not work. As you can see, that's painted silver too. Get some nice paint going on here to mimic Soundwave. Looking very cool. So let's get some measurements and check out with the rest of the DX9 crew. Real quick, if you get stuck at this point, I'm going to show you how to do it. So what you want to do is you want to rock this first part up, but you're going to want to bring it back. Once you bring it back on that double hinge, it'll put the knee into place right. And then just like that, you slide it forward, and just like that. Alright, so here he is with his Decepticon crew. I don't have a Megatron yet. Not one that I like good enough, but just standing him next to Starscream, it shows that they are actually in scale with the G1 scale chart, because he's shorter than Starscream. And as you can see, and even with the crown off, he is too. I'll show you. Well, you can probably tell by all three of them standing next to him, but there. You can see he's a little taller. And we'll just check out how tall they exactly are, why don't we? So, alright. Starscream is, I know it's at an angle going off, but Starscream is 4 inches on the dot. Actually, hold on. Starscream's just a hair over 4 inches. Whoops. And Soundwave is 4 inches. So Starscream's only just barely a hair over 4 inches, but let me know what you think of the review. Leave a like if you liked the video, subscribe for more toy reviews, and as always, stay awesome, stay subbed, and stay tuned for the next video. That's a wrap, guys. I'm out.